As Dusk Falls is a brand new interactive narrative adventure video game developed by Interior Nights and published by Xbox Studios. As Dusk Falls resembles games like the Walking Dead Telltale series, Square Enix's famous video game Life is Strange, and Sony's Detroit Become Human, which are all great games within the genre, and if you enjoy those type of games, As Dusk Falls is right up your alley. For everybody else that's possibly looking to find something new to play, if done right, these novel interactive adventure games can be a lot of fun. And I would have to say, As Dusk Falls does a great job capturing gamers' attentions with its unique art style, its TV production pacing, and with a compelling story. It starts off with two families, the Walkers and the Holts, going through their own drama, eventually having their worlds collide at Desert Dream Motel, Arizona, impacting the families for over a decade, which ends up creating a great story that has great voice acting, a lot of mysteries within the families, and eventually you do get emotionally attached to these characters. The gameplay within this type of genre, there's really not much to it. The gameplay comes off as a point and click type of game, and you're trying to find clues or items to drive the story forward. Then you also have a mechanic called quick actions, which basically are prompt actions during an action-packed sequence of the story. For example, a chase scene or throwing darts within a bar. By using fast directional swipes with a mouse or an analog stick if on console, and smashing a button rapidly until your fingers fall off. But this is expected within games like As Dusk Falls. Not much has changed within the gameplay mechanics with interactive adventure games, and I guess if it's not broken, don't fix it. They don't reinvent the wheel here when it comes to interactive gameplay, but it was still fun and it does its purpose. I do want to mention I played on PC, and I have to say using a mouse felt a little wonky. So I would recommend, if you can, try to use a controller of some sort. If you can't, the mouse isn't unbearable by any means. As Dusk Falls also provides up to 8 players co-op, locally and online. So if you have 7 other friends or family willing to give this game a shot, I bet your playthrough can get pretty wild and crazy. But within this review, I can only have a perspective of 2-player campaign, and I have to say, it's fun for what it is. The multiplayer isn't as interactive or advanced as, let's say, the Dark Pictures series. Those games are still king when it comes to multiplayer interactive story-driven games. But what you can do within the co-op experience is this. You and your party members are able to choose what dialogue the story gets driven towards. And whatever choices that has the most votes will be selected, unless a draw happens. Then it's all picked at random. Interior Nights also added this override mechanic where within each chapter you get 3 times you can override anyone else's choices, which means you automatically get that decision made. My one friend did not like this mechanic. He was bringing up a valid argument where you can purposely mess up someone else's story on purpose, overriding the worst outcomes in those moments. For the most part, I don't see a lot of people having this issue if you decide to play with trustworthy friends. The graphics and art style that Interior Nights and Xbox Studios decided to go with is a pretty unique and interesting choice, and I honestly have to say I enjoyed it. They decided to have 2D characters within a 3D world, which almost reminds me of the film A Scanner Darkly. One of the big differences in As Dusk Falls is they use 2D still imagery, and I can see it becoming annoying to some, with how at times you'll be staring at a frozen character just enough where I even thought myself at one point, did my game just freeze? But right in that moment of thought, the scene would change and I would have a moment of relief. Also, I can see people not being able to capture the right emotions because of the still 2D art design. But overall, I did enjoy the art style and I eventually got used to it. As Dusk Falls soundtrack has a nice acoustic countryside feel to it, and I enjoyed a lot of what I listened to. And it sets the mood just right during impactful moments within the game. The voice acting was fantastic and everyone nailed their characters. I really enjoyed everyone's performance within As Dusk Falls, and I really can't wait for a sequel. Now that I've brought up that I would like to see a sequel, and I'm pretty confident there will be one, I can explain why it's probably one of my only complaints about the game. And that is the ending. I felt left wanting more fulfillment conclusions within certain characters. Now let me make it perfectly clear, I did not finish every ending possible, so this negative opinion I have on the ending could be fixed upon further playing the game, but I'm pretty sure the game is meant to be left in a cliffhanger. Other than that, there's really no negative I have for the game. It's pretty well polished. As well, I didn't bump into any bugs. Other than on the Xbox Game Pass app, when you are in the starting menu, it has a narrator mode and it's on for some reason, so you hear an automated voice asking you to select your input choice. That being said, I would have to give As Dusk Falls an 8 out of 10. Interior Nights expanded on what was already known to work within an interactive narrative story-driven adventure game, with having probably the largest choice outcomes within the genre, which brings great replay value to their game. If you look at the outcome tree, it's massive. And when you think about it, one playthrough is roughly about 5 to 6 hours long to get through. This can easily become around 18 hours or more to invest into the game. Also, the art design was refreshingly different and it just works within the story they're trying to tell. With it being on Game Pass, it has great value in my eyes. It's a must-try game. Now, if you don't have Game Pass, I would suggest buying it for a month over spending $30 for As Dusk Falls. If you are someone like me who mainly plays one playthrough and is satisfied, I don't think I can advise anyone to go out and buy this game for $30 for only 5 to 6 hours playthrough. Now, if you're a completionist, I believe 18 plus hours is way more appealing and worth a buy. And that's my thoughts on As Dusk Falls. Let me know down in the comments below if you played As Dusk Falls and what your thoughts are on the video game. Other than that, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day or night. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya!